I'm the only person in the room. You the only person in the room. We good? Keep that intimacy and that vulnerability we had yesterday. I'm gonna take y'all somewhere. Don't worry about the person to your left or your right. I told you all the things that I did in the military. I told you the challenges I had. Half of learning is learning. What's the other half? So now, let me explain something to you all. Anybody besides me never thought they'd be 30 years old? Put your hand up. Sir, why didn't you think you'd be 30?
I just didn't think I'd be able to make it.
Mr. Jackson? Risk? Okay. Who else put their hand up? You? Okay. Anybody else? You? You got people in here that never thought they'd be in this room. So what they achieve and what they do, to a lot of time, it's not a big deal to them because they didn't think they were going to be around. And we think they're great and they're accomplished, they're this and that, and we're making a what about them? So now, let me unpack this. I was tired of faking like a lot of these people. I would get up every day and I would put my uniform on, Colonel James, but you know the last thing I put on before I left my house? What was it? My smile, which represented my what? My mask. I would get up and put my mask on. Hey, Brinkley, how you doing? I'm doing great. How's life? Oh man, I'm living the dream every day. And I'm dying on the inside. And all I want somebody to do is ask me one question sincerely. And what is that question? How are you doing? We've taken something that should be probative, a point of inquiry, and we've turned it into a ritualistic form of greeting. How you doing shouldn't be a form of greeting. It should be a form of inquiry. And if you don't want to know, don't ask me.
Hello, my name is Nathan Foreman. I'm here at JBSA Lackland, and I'm attending the Chief Seminar, and it is life-changing. I think every leader in the Air Force should attend a training like this. We talk about resiliency. A few of the classmates and I we talk about resiliency all the time. And when you read the word resiliency, I think sometimes it gets a little overused and convoluted. And but this training is perfect for this time that the Air Force is in. Record suicides, people just feeling like they have nothing left. And this training is perfect to address that. So I think everybody should come. I hope you enjoy it. Check him out when he comes to your town. It's going to be awesome.
When you care about a person, this is what you do. You squint with your ears. You get all the noise out your life. You squint with your eyes and you watch them closely. You reduce distractions. And that way you can always speak directly to those people.
It has just been absolutely eye-opening and amazing. You really gets down into the actual factors or reasons or causations versus the symptoms, which is what a lot of the trainings on resiliency and leadership talk about. It always seems to speak about the overall concept, but this training differs greatly in that it actually treats the whole person and not so much just the concept or the idea of something related to leadership or resiliency. A lot of the information or a lot of the points that we have been working and discussing have been very impactful, specifically on a personal level, and it's been very interactive rather than just lectured on. It's something that I can really take and put to practice and actually use in my personal life starting now. And it just takes a lot of different stigmas and different wrong perceptions that we can work on to have a little bit more impact, not just in our lives, but in the lives of the people around us. So it's amazing. I think we should definitely do a lot more of these, especially with this resiliency issue that's been coming up lately. I think he would be a great champion for this, and I hope to see him in a lot more events like this, because it's absolutely value added.
Yeah, no, this is a 2-day training, and unfortunately I wasn't here for the first one. My wife took the training, she told me all about it, and I knew I had to get in it. The way she was talking about it, I was like, I need to know what's going on. I need to see, what he's bringing to the table. Word of mouth, like my wife just mentioned, he touches on core things of life, on course correction and misperceptions, and everything he talks about. Everybody takes something home with what he's saying. Touches going back to your childhood, going back to your relatives, to your work friendships and what you're doing. It touches a lot of the core pillars of people's life and how they carry themselves, what they show to other people, their fronts, what they don't show to other people, and the causality of doing that. It hits home, and you definitely take something with you in the training.
A coach nurtures, a coach cultivates, a coach develops. A referee throws flags, a referee penalizes, a referee points out infractions exclusively. So I was doing some work at Keesler, and they said that you could bring your children to work one day. So this senior master sergeant brought his son to work. He said, "Dad, I've been watching you all day, and your people respond to you. How do you get your airmen to respond to you?" He said, "I make sure that I've trained them." He said, "What happens if things don't go well on the job?" "I evaluate, have they been trained right? Do they let you down sometimes?" He said, "Yeah, oh yeah, sure do." "What happens when they let you down?" "I sit them down, I talk to them, and figure out how we can fix it." "What if they do it again?" He said, "I don't give up on it." His son said, "Dad, can you do that for us at home?" How do you become a referee in your own life, for the lives of people you're supposed to care about? I'm listening. How you become a referee while all you're doing is pointing out infractions? Ain't nothing wrong with crying. Why do you become a referee? Because you don't have the time, because you've been wearing what? You've been wearing the mask. How else do you become a referee? You take people for granted. How else do you become a referee? Get in the game. Why are you ref? I'm not playing with y'all. I ain't got all day. How do you become a ref? You physically what? You checked out physically, you irritated. How are you physically? How else are you physically? You're tired. Most referees become refs because they're tired. You become a ref because you're tired. You realize the most efficient way to get your point across is the ref. It's the quickest way, it's the most efficient way, and it's the worst way because you're tired. You've been coaching everybody else all day, and you've been reffing the people you're supposed to care about. Who's been reffing in here? Put them up. You can't have, anybody ever had like a short notice TDY, or you had to go somewhere real quick? And so they say you got to get all this training done before you leave, right? So you got all this training done in a week or 2 weeks. Are you proficient in that training? Right. You can't treat your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health like just-in-time training. Some of you deal with your life situation when it pops up. When somebody says, "Look, we need to talk." Oh, here we go. Because you've been procrastinating about stuff that's important. So when you have a just-in-time mentality, your life becomes crisis management. And when you have that, you're gonna always be behind. Anybody ever got an F in school besides me? Why'd you get an F? Tell me, just yell out why you got an F. You didn't do your work. The first day of class, they give you what? Begin with the letter S. They give you a syllabus. Most of y'all, like me, looked at the syllabus like it's recommended reading, right? Well, they just think if I get around to it, I can look at it. No, that's how your life is. The stuff that you're dealing with, you got a syllabus. People tell you what's important. They tell you what matters. But you just like, well, you know, I'll get around to it. And then if you like me, you come to class one day and say, hey, everybody, put your stuff down. We're going to do a pop quiz. And then you start sweating because you know you're about to get one more F. And my mother said, if you bring one more F home, I'm going to drop kick you. Ours was called industrial arts, right? So if you got 3 Fs, you stayed back. So I knew I was close, right? I was borderline. They're like, Brink, I hope you like the 9th grade because you might be seeing it again. So I went to industrial arts, Diane, and they had a wood class. And my wood shop teacher name was Mr. Fields. So the first day of class, he said, all right, everybody, I'm gonna talk to you all about safety. He said, I ain't kidding, right? He holding his hand up, he missing like 2 fingers. So I'm thinking, man, you can't teach me about wood shop. Only thing you can teach me is how to cut my fingers off.
Good morning, I'm Cynthia Fleming, and I would like to say that I have been truly blessed today in the Leadership Empowerment course that has been taught by Chief Brinkley. He has been amazing. He has touched my heart. He has touched my life. And some of the tools today that he has talked about, I'm going to be able to take home and use. And some of the things that he's talked about is just life experiences that he's had himself. And it's touched me to where that I will be able to use those tools to my life, because some of the things that he's talked about, I've been through the same thing. And today I'm going to be able to take off my mask and live a much healthier life at work and at home and in the environment for my family.
When I close my eyes, like I had y'all do, I see all of y'all. My brother will tell you at 5 years old, I told him I was going to travel the world and help people. Not to be famous or have all this recognition. I just felt like that was my calling in life, is to travel the world and help people. And then life hit me in the face. And it was hard. And I had to go back and have that discussion with my 5-year-old self to say, you're going to get through it, and you got to reacquaint yourself with your dreams and let your pain propel you to your purpose. And you help people as you get help. Who in here needs a dream again? Put your hand up. And that's why I come here to talk. To remind you that you're not what you went through. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with tears. Because your tears of frustration and pain will turn to tears of what? Exactly. Exactly.